Hey guys, it's Alicia, and today I'm gonna help you decide which domain extension is right for you. Does every company need a .com, or does an organization need a .org? What if your company is an organization, or your organization is a company? In any case, it's not always clear which extension is best. In this video, we'll compare .org versus .com and explore how each extension can impact a website. Of course, before we get too far, I want to let you know that there will be links to more resources in the video's description. And remember, subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications for future helpful content. Now, what's the difference between .org and .com domains? .com's overwhelming popularity has made it difficult to find good domain names with the extension. With many desirable domains either in use, parked, or claimed by domain squatters, which we'll dive more into later, many people turn to other extensions to get the name they want. With far fewer .org domains taken, it's often a great alternative. While most people still associate .orgs with nonprofits, some companies have been able to leverage parts of their brand to fit the identity. Of course, choosing a .org is a no-brainer for charities and nonprofits. Apart from the name selection, another benefit of .org's availability is the price. Where the price of .com domains rarely budge, .org domains are often on sale. While both .com and .org websites will work just fine on mobile devices, many mobile keyboards have a .com key. With nothing similar available for other extensions, .com is usually the best choice for websites expecting to receive high amounts of mobile traffic. Both .com and .org can lend credibility to a website, depending, of course, on the website itself. As you might imagine, an online store would be more credible with the .com domain, just as a charity would be more credible with the .org. Where both of these cases benefit from credibility, the opposite case wouldn't be so beneficial. In other words, a charity may look questionable as a .com domain, just as most people wouldn't expect to buy anything from a .org. Whether .org, .com, or even .pizza, there's lots to consider when choosing a domain extension. Even if you think of the perfect domain name, there's a chance it's already taken, especially if it's a .com. With over half of all websites registered under a .com address, desirable domain names are becoming harder to come by. As a result, many people turn to .org, .net, .co, and other extensions. Some especially creative or lucky companies have also been able to incorporate their extension into their company name. For example, a company named Kinsta Co. might register kinsta.co. If you're really set on a name that's already taken, you can sometimes buy it off the owner. It may also be listed for sale by a domain squatter, which is a person or company that registers domain names for the sole purpose of reselling them. Unfortunately, domain squatting has become a widespread practice, with many squatters charging thousands of dollars for even the most average .com name. You may need to contact the owner directly to try and buy it. In most cases, you can find a domain's owner through a Whois search. Is the extension you're considering relevant to you or your organization? While it doesn't matter for personal websites, always consider whether .com, .org, or any other extension truly fits with your company or organization. For example, if you were building a website for a restaurant, then there would be no reason to register for an .org. However, if the .com name was taken, other extensions such as .co would be a good choice. In any case, you'll want the meaning of the extension to be relevant to your needs. How much are you willing to pay for a domain? The right name for the right extension might cost more than you'd expect. While most unregistered domain names sell for around $10, the price climbs quickly when they're already taken, especially if it's a .com. For example, Voice.com sold for $30 million in 2019. Though that's an extreme example, aftermarket domains can cost anywhere from $100 to $30,000. However, you can usually find a good name with a little creativity or good luck. In any case, .coms are generally the most expensive, with most registers charging $10 to $15. .orgs are usually slightly cheaper, while less common extensions usually cost well under $10. Registrars almost always charge annually, though some offer discounts for multi-year subscriptions. While domain extensions don't directly benefit search engine optimization, they can influence other factors that do. For example, some domain extensions may draw more traffic than others, resulting in better search rankings. Consider the example of safetyseats.com and safetyseats.bid. As we covered, most people would feel more comfortable clicking the .com, and that domain would likely perform better. Ultimately, the domain name means more than the domain extension. According to Global Reach, the most SEO-friendly domain names are simple and avoid keyword stuffing. If choosing a .org over a .com results in a better name, then .org may be the way to go. You should also check if the domain has been used before. Using a name with a history of spam or illegal activity may result in poor search rankings. Who's your website for? Understanding your target audience is an important step in choosing an extension. As we discussed earlier, the extension you choose can have a big impact on your website's traffic. For example, is your target audience mostly mobile users? If so, you'd want to choose a .com name for ease of typing in mobile browsers. Your target audience may also expect or trust a certain extension. For example, online shoppers will likely navigate to a .com, while people looking for information will likely prefer .org, .edu, or .net. For most brands, the holy grail of domain names is brandname.com. However, with over 158 million .com names already claimed, the holy grail is becoming, well, mythical. However, that doesn't mean there aren't alternatives. Depending on your brand name, you can easily use a .co or a local TLD such as .ca in Canada, with no ill effect. Some companies with names ending in an .ly even use the .ly extension. If your brand name has an extension in it, such as expedia.com, then you're pretty much tied down. In that case, however, it's a good idea to secure your domain before settling on a brand. Generally speaking, for-profit companies and stores should use .com, and nonprofits and charities should use .org. Simple as that. However, there are some exceptional cases. For example, software providers often use a .org if they're open source, even if they accept donations or other revenue. While everyone can register a .com may not be for everyone. Here are the situations in which it works best. You're a for-profit company or e-commerce store. The vast majority of for-profit or e-commerce properties are better off with a .com address. However, alternatives such as .co and local extensions are also acceptable. You want a general purpose website. Though it's intended for commercial purposes, .com has always been somewhat of a catch-all. If you're not sure of your website's purpose or just want a domain for personal use, .com is a great choice. Maybe you want a memorable domain name. .com is the most immediately recognizable extension. As such, using a .com will make it easier for users to remember your domain name. With .com built into many mobile browsers and keyboards, it's a huge bonus for any mobile-facing website or online app. Here are the most common reasons to use .org. You're a nonprofit or charity. Just like .com and businesses, most nonprofits and charities are better off with a .org. You're a source of information or research. .org is a great choice for websites providing information, research, and other data. A classic example is wikipedia.org. You're open source. Many open source software projects use .orgs. In fact, it's often the preference. You want to establish trust and authority. No matter the website, .org is synonymous with trust and authority. While that can help boost credibility, websites should commit themselves to being credible before using a .org. While anyone can register a .com or .org, the one you choose can make a big difference in the reputation you build. In most cases, for-profit companies and e-commerce stores choose .com, while nonprofits and open source projects should choose .org. No matter the extension you choose, however, you'll need good hosting. From simple WordPress sites to full-scale enterprise solutions, Kinsta offers managed hosting to fit all sizes and budgets. Visit kinsta.com or explore our managed hosting plans. Kinsta's WordPress hosting can speed up your website by up to 200%, and you'll get 24/7 support from our expert WordPress engineers. We offer 2 months free with any annual plan, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and unlimited free basic migrations from any host. Head over to kinsta.com/plans to get started. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tutorials, explainers, and helpful content like this.